Hello, everybody, wherever you may be, around the world and from sea to shining sea. From Oregon, my name's Larry, and this is Ham Radio Live. I want to thank you so much for coming today. I don't monetize the channel. I'm not going to see a single commercial the whole time through. Nope. All I ask you to do is subscribe. Help people find the channel here on YouTube who just might have an interest in ham radio. You subscribing means a lot, and it's become the ham gathering place from around the whole world, my friends.
We have a big show for you tonight.
We do, very big show. It's Saturday, which means we honor broadcasting. Gonna have a lot of fun talking about contesters and the history of television, which is approaching its 100th birthday very soon. Welcome to the show, everybody. Hi there, wherever you may be. Good to see you all. Thanks for coming. What a joy. It's Saturday, May 1st. We're here. We have made it to May. Yes.
We have a big show for you tonight.
We certainly do, and we're grateful to be here. Well, it's fun to be here, right? It's great. It's fun because one of the things I enjoy about this channel is it's a joy to do it for all of you, and I look forward to it. I'm sorry we're late today. Miley had a little problem. With the dog, and I had to make sure she was good. So took a while to go through that. This is a lot to do today. There's tons of stuff to go through today's show. History of television from back in the beginning when it was mechanical television. Maybe you haven't heard of it. It's going to be cool. Plus, also contesters. And by the way, wait till Friday's show. I'm going to start doing a Friday rant. Every end of the week that we make it through, we're going to do a Friday rant. It'll be hilarious. Hopefully, if it's not to you, you do have my sincere apologies, okay?
Just hold everything, everybody.
I know, but it'll be Fridays towards the end of the show, and we'll just, have a little fun with something. So this coming Friday will be about contesters. Only the ones that are, in kind. The unkind ones, the one that just don't. They step all over you on frequency, and all of a sudden you're hearing secret contest, secret contest, secret contest, secret contest. Wait a minute, I was here first. I have the right here to my frequency.
Well, I'm all broken up about that man's rights.
Exactly. That's kind of the way it seems some contesters feel. But we're not going to knock them today. We're going to celebrate them. We really are. The amazing world of contesting in ham radio. You're going to love it. I hope you do. A lot of work went into this one, and I really hope you enjoy it. Welcome to today's show, everybody. If you'd like to get into ham radio, we'd love to have you here in the United States. Contact the American Radio Relay League. They can be found at www.arl.org. They're here to help you get into amateur radio, and it's so much fun. You can talk to people from all over the world, make great friends, too. You really will. Say you're up north in Canada. Contact the Radio Amateurs of Canada. They're located at www.rac.ca. If you're over in the UK, the Radio Society of Great Britain's there to stand at the ready to help you get on the amateur radio bands. Find them at www.rsgb.org. And today, starting off, we are including Australia, our Australian mates. We are, yes. Contact the ACMA, the Australian Communications and Media Authority. Yep. They can be found at www.acma.gov.au. If you want to email the show, find me here at cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. I'd like to welcome you all around the world to the show. It's become the ham radio gathering place for people, and I am truly honored by that. We'll see how many continents show up today. I appreciate it. You got to know that. First in, it's Ron from Canada, Victor Alpha 3, Foxtrot Union, Charlie. Welcome, Ron. Good to see you, man. Happy Saturday, May 1st. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen, Martin from Holland, Papa Echo 9, Tango India Golf. Remember, wash those hands. Try cleaning up a dog in the sink, right? Because, well, you get it. So you have to clean up the backside, and you're like, yeah. So, yeah, of course, wash your hands. Yes. William Myers from Wisconsin, Kilo Alpha 8 Golf India Mike. It's a pleasure. Happy Saturday. It is May Day. That's right. May Day, May Day, May Day. Andy from Great Britain, welcome. It's good to see you. Yeah, she's okay. She wouldn't eat her medicine, which is totally not like her. She'll usually bark and really make up a fist, just a hissy fit, till she gets her medicine, because you have to crunch it all up. There's like literally 5 pills now I've got to give her every morning. crunch it all up, put it in dog food, mix it all together, and put it on the floor. Meanwhile, she's barking like crazy. You're like, oh my gosh, Miley, stop it. It's going to be okay. Just stop barking and going nuts. You're going to get your medication. But she, of course, is sitting on the floor, just will not stop. Just will not stop. And I thought I freaked her out until I walked her because I couldn't figure out what was wrong. Yeah, she's good. Thanks for asking. John, our new ham up in Canada. He's going to get there. We're excited to see you, John. Thanks. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. All the way in Borneo, ladies and gentlemen, Sly is here. His call sign, 9 Mike 8 Sierra Lima. Sorry, Sly. It's early. It's really early. Look, this is why this really blows me away. Sly is the example. Him and Tom. Where Sly is right now is roughly, it's about between, I think it's about 3:30, right? 3:30 in the morning on Sunday. That to me is phenomenal. Sly, thank you. Sincerely, thank you. Morning to you as well, my friend. Yep. And ladies and gentlemen, you bet. He's back. He's here. Our official YouTube concierge, the man that will keep you entertained and happy on the comment section, Günther from Germany is here. His call sign, Delta Kilo 5, Oscar November Victor, is in the house. Welcome to the show, Günther. So glad you're here. A very happy Saturday evening to you in Germany. Kevin's here. Mike Zero, Mike Charlie Lima. Kevin, thank you for coming in the UK. My goodness. And in Bahrain. Here's another example. Tom, good morning, Larry. New entity for me today, Iraq. He made the call. Yankee 11, Whiskey Alpha. Cheers to you, Tom. Wow. Let's see. Bahrain's almost off the map. It's like midnight. My goodness, Tom, thank you for coming. It is truly an honor. And we've got Scott, Kilo Charlie 2, Charlie Alpha Delta. He's all the way in North Boston, New York. Nice to see you, Scott. Thank you. Sean, east of the Cascade Mountains in Oregon. He says, hi, Ollie, we're playing in the 7:30 QSO party. No. Because I do the show, so it's hard for me to get involved in a lot of that stuff. Now, field day, I probably won't, but I'd probably play a little bit. We'll see today. That'd be fun, Sean. His call sign is Alpha India 7 Echo Quebec. Always a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much. 3:46 a.m. in Borneo, and Sly is here. Sly, that's brilliant. Thank you. Wow. Well, let's get to it. We've got some great stuff. I hope you enjoyed today's show. On Saturdays, we don't do test questions. On Sundays, we don't do test questions. Saturdays and Sundays are reserved for special elements. By the way, on Fridays, at the end of the Friday show, right before sign-off, we'll have the end of the week rant. It'll be something new every week. So, coming up on Friday, a little rant about contesting. You'll have a ball with it. But today we're going to celebrate them. We're going to talk about contesters from all over the world, the superstations, the big guns, the guys that have a ton of stuff. I mean, it is the what's what of ham radio. Let's start out in the United States. In Western Pennsylvania, call sign Kilo 3 Lima Radio. His name is Tim Duffy. He owns DX Engineering. Let's take a look at what he's got.
I'm at K3LR's Super Contest Station, and I don't know where to start here. It's just so much aluminum up in the air. This is the 10-meter tower with multiple 10-meter beams that can be phased and grouped together in almost any combination. It's gotten dark enough that the tower lights have come on. And out through the field is a group of vertical elements for phased arrays for the low bands. So here's a close-up of a ring rotator. So there's a rotator on that ring and it rotates the antenna around the tower.
You can see you have a ton of acreage here to be able to do this. This needs a lot of land to do this.
The base of the tower, these are all Pyrod towers, I believe all steel legs, no hollow tubing. You can see and about halfway up the tower is a box, I believe all the beams are wired into, which has the switching for the phasing, so that these can be separated or combined. A couple of the guy anchor positions. There's nothing amateur about what's going on out here. This is the 260-foot tower. And on here are three 40-meter beams. It has a kind of a dual driven element system, kind of a passive thing, but it flattens out the SWR to like 1.2 across the band. And further out in the field is a whole series of verticals that make up a 4-square array. These are phased together so you can change directions. So out there is a 160-meter tower, and there's wires that come off there, and he can select the phase of those and basically rotate the signal. Unbelievable. Really impressive. Let's take a look inside. So there's a lot of antennas outside and a lot of coaxes. This is one of the 2 areas that they're coming in, and you see that looks like at least an inch or larger. And here's another bunch of coax. So now I'm downstairs in the superstation, and Tim, we're getting set up for Ham Nation. So he's checking out Skype. You can see all the operator positions around the room here. And you can see a radio and an amplifier, single band amplifier. And we saw those antennas with all the ring rotors. Well, each rotor has its own controller here.
Yeah, and that's an Icon 7851. Those things are over, 12 grand a piece. Wow.
And here's one of the ground points that I found here. You can see the big copper strap and the braids going to the various pieces of equipment. Everything's tied together.
Now listen to
There's
this.
no towers, no laptops. Everything is being run from these Intel NUC computers, and then just put them right on the back of the monitors. And there's not a switching, power supply, or wall wart anywhere to be found. So everything is being run off of linear power supplies.
Isn't that
so
amazing?
that there's no noise.
Wow.
And so here's one of the antenna switches. Right now you can see the antennas for 20 meters at 230, 170, 110, and 50.
This is to
feet
phase
are all
the
on.
antennas.
You can pick, any one separately. Or you can run with the top 3, the bottom 3, the top 2. This really makes a difference because this changes the angle that your signal is launched from. And sometimes the highest antenna is not the best one. So the operator here can take and switch. And he also has a watt meter up here with LEDs, so he can just glance up and see what's running.
He has his own coaster
And the
set
walls
too.
are just
My gosh.
filled with awards from all the various contests. Of course, the big geochron clock map display shows you where the sun is. Those are very neat. Tim even has one of the original geochrons. It's all mechanical.
Those began in
There's films that move, and
1963.
gears and belts and all
Still
sorts of
being
things
built.
in there to make that work. But now software, and it's all up on a big 80-inch display.
And those things
The
cost
stations have
thousands
single
of
band
dollars.
amplifiers, so that really simplifies the design because there's no band switching, which also makes them more reliable. They just run and run and run. They're built around an 8877 tube, and down on the floor is the 4,000 volt power supply, and here's 3. Well, that's it for the tour. Just a quick one. We're about ready to go on the air with Ham Nation tonight. So I want to thank Tim for showing me the shack and showing me around and having a great time today and also yesterday at DX Engineering. 73.
There you go. All right. So that is going to Tim Duffy's home. Basically, that's from DX Engineering here in the United States. Pretty cool. All right. Let's meet Tim. Talk a little bit about what the inside of that station looks like, a little bit about its components, so you have an idea. Now, keep in mind, this was done about a year ago. Things might have changed and upgraded even more since then, but here's Tim Duffy to tell you a little more about it.
We'll get into it. I'm sitting in front of the 80-meter station here at K3LR, and of course, Greg NAB and Greg KGL have both been here numerous times to operate. But there's 2 stations back here. This station here is what we call the 80-meter run station. This is where we call CQ, and this is the only multi-band amplifier here in the shack. It's an Alpha 77DX. It's a single 88.
This is only for 80-meter contesters.
My good friend and silent key K3TUP. And then over here is the multiplier station, or the station that works all the packet spots and all the RBN spots. known as the second station on 80, and it has its own single band 8877 amplifier, and the two operators on 80 sit here. There are 11 stations here at K3LR, and a lot of them are patterned the same.
All right, so he's got 11 stations combined there at K3LR. Imagine that. Amplifiers, everything right there. Adjust the antennas, adjust, how you're phasing them, adjust the power. Sit back, relax, and call CQ calling. Okay. Anyway, CQ contest. Anyway, so let's take a look. Tim's not the only person who has pretty cool stuff. Let's go over into Asia. Yeah, Slovakia. Take a look at this. This is from Oscar Mike 3, Tango Whiskey Mike. This is quite a station as well over in Asia.
Hello guys, Oscar Mike 0 Echo Tango. Right now here you can see the beautiful antenna farm. I'm located now in the contest station here in south part of Slovakia. The contest call sign is the Oscar Mike 3 Tango Whiskey Mike, and this contest station uses big antennas at the big towers, and you can see there the highest tower. That one and that one is for 20 meters band, and it's a stacked antenna, and the antenna after here on the top is a 3.5 megahertz 2-element beam. Here is the Moxon, and down there it's the dirt 20 meters antenna beam, 5 elements. So there is a 5/5 element beam antenna. So the other tower here, yeah, you can see here it's 10 meters stacked Yagis. And here is the oldest one, tower, 40 meters, 4-element antenna. It's really beautiful. So let's go look closer. Okay, so here you can see the 4 square verticals for 1.8 megahertz band for 160 meters.
I'm at K3LR's Super Contest Station, and I don't know where to start here. It's just so...
And that's why Larry needs a new computer right there. He can't even make the claps come on. Okay, now they come. There you go. Just that much of an inch. Oops, wrong scene. Okay, I have to wait 3 seconds for it to continue. Anyway, that's some work out of Asia. Now, it continues. If you go all the way over into Turkey, there's a man named Hudaverdi Gunas. He's got a great station. His call sign is Tango Alpha 7 Oscar Mike. Let's take a look at him real quick, okay?
Hotel Bravo. Oscar Echo 1 Hotel Bravo 5920. Thank you. QRZ Tango Alpha 7 Oscar Mike.
Victor 3 Delta Charlie X-ray.
Sierra Victor 3 Delta Charlie X-ray. You 5920.
Thank you. 5920.
Roger, thanks. QRZ Tango Alpha 7 Oscar Mike.
United Radio 5 X-ray Mike.
United Radio 5 X-ray Mike. You 5920.
5916.
Roger, thanks. QRZ, Tango Alpha 7 Oscar Mike.
Charlie Radio 5 Tango.
Charlie Radio 5 Tango, U5920.
Yeah, you saw that over 3 million points.
Tango Alpha 7 Oscar
Wow.
Mike.
Outstanding.
Kilowatt whiskey again, please. Whiskey 6, kilowatt whiskey, U5920.
Yankee 5905. Number Tango.
Number Tango again.
Number 2.
Okay, if you were watching, you saw the door open and close and an edit on that video. You saw an edit, okay? Hold on.
Thank you. QRZ, Tango Alpha 7 Oscar Mike.
Yankee Tokyo 5 America.
Yankee Tokyo 5 America, good morning, Q5920.
5915.
Thanks, QRZ, Tango
All
Alpha
right,
7
so
Oscar.
now you see how somebody does pretty well at this, right? But hold on. If you look carefully, that was edited. Yeah, just a little bit. You saw a door kind of open up and close, and you just look for edits in videos from YouTube or wherever. It's easy to find because usually the scene will switch just a little bit. I'll show you like what it's like to change real quick. Watch. You see a little bit of change there? It's slight, but it's there. All right, so let's now take a look at one of the best contesters in our world. He really is. He's out of Texas, and the man is absolutely outstanding. And I'm very impressed and very proud to show you Kilo 5 Tango Romeo in action. Watch this run and how fast it is. Once it's done, I'll explain to you the average time it takes him to make each QSO during an SSB contest. And I got to tell you, when I saw it the first time, I was like, no, it can't be. Here's what I did. I looked at it 3 times. I did. And I counted it. I averaged it down. I'm going, man, okay, there's no way. There's no way. The guy's got a mic. I get it. It's a switch. I get it. He's got a mic. He's good. He knows what he's doing. But I retimed it. And I looked at it. And I was like, man, okay, the guy's real solid. The guy's real solid. He's averaging, believe it or not, I'm not kidding you, these average, ready? Under 7 seconds per QSO. Check this out.
Kilowatt 5 Tango Radio.
Whiskey Kilo Fox 6 Tango.
Kilo Fox 6 Tango 59176.
Roger 5916.
Thank you, Kilowatt 5 Tango Radio.
There's no editing here, none.
Kilowatt 9 Tango Radio 59177.
QSL 59 number 020.
Thank you, Kilowatt 5 Tango Radio.
Kilo 3 Tango Whiskey.
K3TW 59178.
Thank you 5948.
Thank you, Kilowatt 5 Tango Radio.
Whiskey X-ray 7 Papa.
WX7P 59179.
Roger, copy 5915.
Thank you, Kilo 5 Tango Radio.
Kilo Tango 0 radio.
Again,
Kilowatt Tango 0 radio.
Kilowatt Echo 0 Radio 59180.
Kilo Tango 0 radio 5929.
KT0R, thanks. QRZ Kilo 5 Tango Radio.
N7 LOX.
N7 LOX 59181.
Thank you, 59 number 9.
Thank you, Kilo 5 Tango Radio.
Victor Echo 3 Fox Henry.
Again,
Victor Echo 3 Fox Henry.
Victor Echo 3 Fox Hotel 59182.
Thank you, 5915.
Thank you, Kilo 5 Tango Radio. Kilowatt 2 Radio Echo Delta 59183. Thanks, QRZ Kilo 5 Tango Radio. Radio Hotel Mike 59184.
QSL, you are 59010. Whiskey Bravo 2, Romeo, Hotel, Mike.
Whiskey Bravo 2 Radio Hotel Mike. Thanks, QRZ Kilo 5 Tango Radio.
Whiskey Bravo 2, Zulu Hotel, Bravo.
Whiskey Bravo 2 Zulu Hotel Bravo 59185.
QSL 59185, you're 59021.
Thank you.
Germany 8 Baker.
Kilo Germany 8 Baker 59186.
QSL 186, you're 5920.
Thanks. QRZ Kilowatt 5 Tango Radio.
Kilo Bravo 1, Lima Hotel Yankee.
Kilo Bravo 1 Lima Hotel Yankee 59187.
You're 5959004.
Thank you, Kilowatt 5 Tango Radio.
Norway 0, Oscar Japan.
Norway 0 Oscar Japan 59188.
Thank you, 59013.
Thank you, Kilowatt 5 Tango Radio.
Whiskey 7 Golf Tango Mike.
7 Golf Tango Mike 59189.
Thank you, you're 5908.
Thank you, Kilo 5 Tango Radio.
Whiskey 0, Mike Alpha November.
Whiskey 0 Mike Alpha Norway 59190.
5924.
Thank you, Kilo 5 Tango Radio.
Nancy Victor 8 Nancy.
Nancy Victor 8 Nancy 59191.
59029.
Thank you, Kilo 5 Tango Radio.
November 8 Italy Lima.
November 8 Italy Lima Uniform 59192.
Jaguar 5912.
Thank you. Kilo 5 Tango Radio.
Victor Echo 3, Kilo Papa.
V3KP 59193.
Thank you, 59011.
Thanks again. QRZ Kilo 5 Tango Radio.
Alpha Charlie 35.
AC3C 59194.
Roger, to 5914. You're number 7, and you're 59.
Thank you.
November 0 Sugar Papa Papa.
AC0C. AC3C. Thanks. November 0 November Papa 59195.
Call November 0 Sugar Papa Papa. Number 020 over.
And 0 SPP. Thanks. Kilo 5 Tango Radio. The Victor Zulu Yankee 59196. KB8 VZY. Thanks. Kilo 5 Tango Radio.
Isn't that absolutely stunning work? And I mean stunning work. If you think about how fast he's got to work, he not only has to hear the signal, make out each character of the call sign, and be able to type it out, but he also has to continue it quickly. And he does it for hours and hours and hours and hours. That's one of the best contesters we have in our world. His name is George Freeman. He comes from Austin, Texas. His call sign, Kilo 5 Tango Radio. Man has an amazing collection of antennas and a great amount of stuff he's been blessed with. Take a look at him on QRZ if you have a chance. Kilo 5 Tango Radio is where you'll find him, okay? Great guy. He's a great guy. Amazing stuff. One of the very best in ham radio right there. All right, we also have a little segment today we want to share with you because television, believe it or not, in this decade celebrates, did you know this? Its 100th year. Yeah, 100 years of television. Now it's changed a tremendous amount. Television used to be mechanical. Yeah, it wasn't the way it is today. It isn't set the way it was back then. It's completely cool. Imagine living with it, how it started. It was very Spartan, and only a few people could afford a receiver, which was mechanical, had a wheel that spun around. Let's take a look at the history of television. As it started way back in the beginning, this is back in the early 1920s, until today. Some futuristic products you may have never even thought are out or are coming out. Let's start at the very beginning. Television at the start in the 1920s. Now, excuse the audio. I did get rid of all the commercials, however. Yep, I sure did. But the audio portion, it's like a synthesized voice, a little dry, but enjoy it. Some really good information here about television and its history, turning 100 years old this decade. Enjoy.
In 100 years, the TV has taken many shapes and sizes. Here's the evolution of the television from the 1920s to today. The 1920s gave us the mechanical television. The first model had a small display on the right and a huge cabinet. These first TVs were very simple in comparison to our technology today. They implemented peculiar shapes, such as the octagon television. Although the technology was impressive, the video quality was not. Facial features were not recognizable unless makeup was worn in a specific way. In the 1930s, we saw more refined televisions, with better designs and resolution. This decade saw a giant leap in video quality, from 100 scan lines at the start of the decade to 405.
Okay, now that was a big point right there. He talked about scan lines going from a little over 100 to 405, okay? That's a good start. So in the 20s, the very beginning with mechanical television, basically it was a wheel that would rotate quickly to help to make the photos move on the screen. You had to have special makeup, all kinds of things to make it work. Now let's move forward. Okay, we've gotten about 400 scan lines per second. Let's see how it evolves. Let's go through the 1940s through the 1970s. Watch how television changes.
The 1940s brought us even higher resolutions, including the NTSC standard of 480 lines of resolution and better audio. In the 1940s, it was difficult to produce CRT screens larger than 12 inches. So big screen TVs implemented projection techniques. The 1950s brought us the short-lived porthole televisions, but most importantly, it brought us the NTSC color standard. But not many color televisions were sold until the following decade. The sales of color TVs boomed in the 60s. They were now more affordable and the colors more vivid. The 1970s brought TV designs for every taste and need. There was the upgradable television with easily accessible circuit boards. The futuristic televisions, which implemented curvy design patterns. The colorful TVs that looked more like toys. And the portable combos, which normally included radios and cassette decks.
Okay, now some of us are old enough to remember some of those, so I don't want to say, man, that's a long time ago, but man, I do remember some of those. I really do. All right, now we're getting to most people's wheelhouse on this show of the history of television. TVs we remember either growing up or at a time in our lives. Here's the 1980s, and it's going to run through about 2009, okay? So television changed tremendously. In fact, probably its biggest impact, 20s through 40s, was going to 480 scan lines per minute. Then from the 40s through the 70s, big change, color, obviously. Then we've got big changes coming. Now we have HD, 3D, 4K. It's all coming. Take a look now at television from 1980, roughly, to about 2009.
The 1980s was the end of the TV as furniture era. These were replaced with color projection TVs with larger screens and minimalist cabinets. The Space Command was one of those color projection TVs. The 1980s gave way to the first LCD TVs. They were tiny and pixelated, but it was a huge step forward. These portable TVs were a lot more affordable and included additional functions. This decade was all about Sony's Trinitron technology. As Sony's patent had run out, all competitors were free to use the technology. Combos such as this became really popular in the 1990s. They included FM radio and VCR. In the 1990s, Casio continued to improve their portable LCD TVs. A preview of one of the biggest tech of the following decade was introduced at the end of the 1990s, the Flat HD TV, priced around $7,000. Throughout the 2000s, CRT TVs were still very popular, as they were inexpensive and could access HD channels using a converter box.
And weighed over 250 pounds, no joke.
During this decade, LCD tech was finally able to compete with plasma, giving us LCD HD TVs. Then LED TVs arrived, which were superior to both.
Whoa! Oh my!
A few brands experimented with ambience lighting to make the TVs more immersive. Through the decade, HD TVs became pretty smart. They were able to display content from your computer, as well as connect to different services on the internet. We started the 2010s with the best combination of tech money can buy: 4K, LED, and 3D, which all had just been introduced.
And outside in your backyard, of course.
Curved screens became the premium feature for a few years. It was meant to reduce glare and improve immersion by taking advantage of our peripheral vision. This works well for computer monitors, but it is barely noticeable on TVs. Something truly impressive was the introduction of wallpaper TVs. These are almost as thin as a credit card. The latest feature is ambient mode, which lets you match your TV to your decor. It allows you to display your TV as art or to match your wallpaper.
You ever have one of those? I have never, I've been around a while, and I don't recall seeing a television do that yet. But they do, and that's pretty amazing. It still gets even more futuristic. Here are some products that are coming, things you may not have seen that could be, maybe not in your home, but somebody who's got some bucks, maybe in their home coming soon. Take a look at this.
We started the 2010s with the best combination of tech money can buy: 4K, LED, and 3D, which all had just been introduced. Curved screens became the premium feature for a few years. It was meant to reduce glare and improve immersion by taking advantage of our peripheral vision. This works well for computer monitors, but it is barely noticeable on TVs. Something truly impressive was the introduction of wallpaper TVs. These are almost as thin as a credit card.
Okay, now take a look at what's to come. This is amazing stuff.
The latest feature is ambient mode, which lets you match your TV to your decor. It allows you to display your TV as art or to match your wallpaper.
I know.
2020 promises many new technologies, such as the rollable TV. It is completely hidden when it's off, and when it's on, it grows to the size of the content or application. This is great for calendar and music apps, and avoids the black bars in extra-wide movies. This is another discrete TV technology, but it will likely be used more for decoration and art than for entertainment. The double-sided TV will be great for gaming and for commercial applications. Tech is changing really fast, and so are our TVs. What do you think is next for the evolution of television?
How about that? I hope you enjoy that. I hope you did. And bear with me for that last segment, kind of having some, it carried over from the prior one. But the main thing was to kind of show you what it was and to avoid the commercials as best that I could. So I hope you enjoyed it. Television's come a long ways. It really has. Remember those old Bairds? All those really old televisions that started out way back in the day? The big mechanical wheel. And now we just wheel up our phone and connect right to our TVs. And it's pretty amazing when you think about how television has changed. Ham radio's changed that way too. If you think about ham radio, I got a great email from a man in Florida this week in Kentucky, a doctor. This guy is like a brilliant guy. He was a ham and many years ago. Lost his license about 30 years ago and came back. Now he has a side of the hobby that we don't because we're used to seeing what we have. He left the hobby way back in 1990. Imagine stopping ham radio right at the tech of the 1990s, being out of it for 30 years, coming back in 2021. The differences, that's what he sees. And he can't believe it. It's like digital modes, waterfalls. Wow, there's stuff here I have never, ever heard of and seen before. It has grown so much and become so diverse. To him, it's unbelievable. Ham radio has changed that much in the last 70 years as well. It really has. We are about to enter one of the greatest periods of our time in ham radio. Solar numbers are coming up, right? We're getting the sunspots right. We're going to get more radiation to the ionosphere. Make calls on 10 meters again. 20 might be usable at night, all night long. It's going to be a good time. And it's the best time to get into ham radio. The very best time, because you can make some of the best calls you'll make in your lifetime, possibly during this next solar cycle. Now you have to get in somehow, right? To be able to make those calls. Let me quickly run over the places you can go to if you want to be in ham radio. The American Radio Relay League is a place that can get you started on the path to get into ham radio. Enjoy the best receivers and some of the best transmitters ever made in the history of our hobby. They're being made right now by major manufacturers from around the globe. Find them at www.arl.org and they will take care of you. If you're in Canada, contact the Radio Amateurs of Canada. They're at www.rac.ca. Over in the UK, contact the Radio Society of Great Britain. They're located at www.rsgb.org. And in Australia, our mates over there can be found with the Australian Communications and Media Authority at www.acma.gov.au. Whew! That's a mouthful. That's a bit of a mouthful. Yeah. Anyway, so let's look at your comments before we go. We're going to get into CQ calling today, by the way. We'll do the daytime version for North America and see what we can make calls-wise. But before I did that, I had to do the segment on contest stations, television, and its growth in about 100 years. It's amazing how far technology has come. And also, to illustrate to all of you, think about how much radio has changed in 70 years, in our lifetime. Man, think about DX radios in the 1960s and 70s. Compare them to what we have today. There is zero comparison. The quality, the reception, the sensitivity, selectivity is completely off the charts right now. They're the best. They're the best. Yep. All right. So final thoughts. We've got, let's see. I would not be good at ham. I stutter. You know what, Bertie? You probably do fine at it, man. You would. There's not just voice. You can do text. Yeah, you can text people all over the world. You don't need to even open a microphone. That's how cool it is now. You could just send text. And you could also use FT8, which is a really cool mode for people that don't want to talk on the radio. That will help you make the longest calls of all, believe it or not. You can actually contact, it's a great mode to see how far away your antennas can reach. It's below the static, No one knows you're even there. And you're making calls. And people from, let's say you live in California, and all of a sudden people in Africa are responding to your station call. And people in Europe are responding to you, and in Asia. Man, it's amazing. You really can do it, Burger. Don't think because maybe you started a little bit, you can't. You'd be amazing. I bet you'd be great at it. Television, you can send television, you can send pictures, you can just do text. Gosh, it's a great amount of stuff you can do right now. Yeah. Let's see. Alan Lloyd, great comment. The worst amateur radio transceiver sold today will absolutely blow away the best high-end transceiver from only 30 years ago. There are literally no bad radios anymore. It's all relative. I would say to a certain extent that's true. There were some pretty good receivers and transmitters in the past, certainly from Drake, certainly from Heathkit. There was some really good stuff, but the stuff today is so solid. It's a good point. Stu Foster from Great Britain. Welcome, mate. Good to see you, buddy. Always a pleasure. You know that. Yep. I love the comment Martin made earlier. This is a great comment. He mentioned about the antenna farm. I believe it was the one that Tim has from DX Engineering. He said, I'm trying to scroll up. There's a lot of comments. Bear with me. Martin said, and this is great. He said, I would be in a divorce. Oh my gosh, it's just so funny. So yeah, that's true. I mean, you think about all that money and all that stuff. It's phenomenal though, because there's not many places like that on the entire earth. So you celebrate it because it exists. It's pretty special. All right, we'll be back with CQ calling shortly. Let me get a good frequency. We're having a QSO party. Now, also it's known as a contest, of course. You know.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Yeah, so I got to find an open spot to work on 20 and maybe, well, 17 is always open, but to maybe work on 20. I have some people that would like to make calls today to the show. See you in a few minutes on Ham Radio Live. My name's Larry. I don't do any monetization, no commercials. I even took them out of the television thing. Did you notice that?
It doesn't pay to court disaster, Robin.
Exactly. I don't do commercials. I just ask you to subscribe. It helps people that just might have an interest in ham radio to find the channel, or people who like radio in particular to find it. Thanks for helping. Appreciate it very much. My name's Larry. My call sign's K78Jen. All the best to you this Saturday or Sunday if you're across the date line. Until next time, enjoy the sign off. We haven't done one from here yet. This one is all the way in Mexico, but not far. There's a lot of stations like in the San Diego area that are actually transmitting from Mexico. Same thing with El Paso, okay? Those are border towns that are pretty large, border cities. Here's one from Tijuana, but it is licensed to Mexico with their sign-off. Until about 10 minutes from now. My name's Larry. I'll see you soon. 73, everybody.
This is XETV CW6. Our transmitter is located on Mount San Antonio, Baja California, serving San Diego and Tijuana. XCTV Channel 6 transmits on digital ATSC UHF Channel 23 and virtual PSIP Channel 6 on an assigned frequency from 524 to 530 megahertz, transmitting our digital signal with 200 kilowatts effective radiated power, as authorized by the Federal Telecommunications Institute of Mexico.
Está usted viendo XETV CW6. Nuestro transmisor está localizado en Monte San Antonio, Baja California, sirviendo a San Diego y Tijuana. XETV Canal 6 transmite en señal digital ATSC UHF, Canal 23 y virtual PSIP. Canal 6 transmite en una frecuencia asignada de 524 a 530 MHz, transmitiendo con una potencia de 200 kilowatts, autorizado por el Instituto Federal de Telecomunicaciones de México.
Tune in tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat